Well, a major crisis is unfolding in Sudan, where a year of conflict has left millions of children displaced and fleeing violence. Many of them have been left traumatised by the catastrophic conditions in the country. It's not just the daily violence, but the lack of access to food, clean water, schooling and healthcare. Wish I had some more good news for you today, but let's talk about this anyway. I'm joined by World Vision CEO Daniel Wordsworth. Daniel, great to see you as always. It's described as the worst place in the world for children to live. There's a couple of competing interests at the moment right now on that front.
Yeah, I'm guessing it feels pretty overwhelming. And with what's happening here too, it's appalling. The sort of violence that's being perpetrated around the world, it's just got to stop.
It certainly does, but let's focus on Sudan, because it strikes me that, you know, we probably haven't given enough attention to what's been going on there, but this war has been raging for quite some time. But you're now on here today saying it's reached another juncture, not a good one. Why is that?
Yeah. So for those that don't know, Sudan is just underneath Egypt, and it's bordered with South Sudan and places like Chad. And it's been in turmoil really for a number of years. About 5 years ago, the sort of infamous Bashir, the dictator there, was overthrown. There was some tenuous years of civilian government. And then 1 year ago, two competing generals started fighting in the city of Khartoum. What's happened sort of every few months in Sudan, we're all hoping that things are going to stabilize for those populations. But what we're seeing is like a continual falling of dominoes, with the situation getting worse on a monthly basis. So over the last 12 months, we've been hoping to see an improvement, but actually it's getting much worse. You have half of the country, almost 25 million people, in dire need of humanitarian assistance, 8 million people on the move, that's 3.5 million children. And now they're moving into countries like South Sudan for safety. And that's really not a place you want to go to for safety. And so it's an incredibly difficult situation, and it seems to be getting worse.
Yeah, the living conditions haven't been nice there for quite some time. But why is it getting worse? Is it there a lack of international focus on this area? Is there just not enough food and water getting in, or is it not being distributed?
It's all of those things, actually. There is it's a regional issue that's kind of fueling this. You then have a lack of response by the international community, because we're very focused on things like Gaza and Ukraine and other parts of the world. You then have a lack of funding being dedicated to humanitarian relief inside Sudan. And because you have these warring factions all over the country, like one of the areas that we're working in is Darfur. I've been there. This is an incredibly difficult part of the world. You have to negotiate all of your access for your convoys to provide relief supplies. So there's like barriers at every single step of the way as you try to help these kids.
When's the last time you were there, Daniel?
It was a number of years ago. It was before the overthrow of Bashir. It was really during the Darfur period. So I haven't been there over the last few years, but I'm hearing from our teams. 2 times last night, I received emails from our teams that are over there talking about what they're facing. The first one was like the facts of the matter, but then the team had been in meetings with kids during the day, and they're writing to me about what that experience is like with these children. I mean, we talk about having a lack of basic need, but what you're talking about are kids going hungry, kids being sick, families in despair. It's really hard on the humanitarian aid workers that are trying in that environment to look after them.
Yeah, so what are your teams on the ground telling you overnight? How are they making a difference, and how can we support World Vision?
Thank you. We're helping about 1.3 million people inside Sudan, but also in South Sudan and Chad. We're providing them with emergency cash assistance, which is like food assistance. And we're there's half the country's kids have been out of school for the last year, so we're trying to provide access to schooling, so many things. So if your heart is open to what's happening in Sudan, please go to our website. We are there on the ground. We literally have teams right now sitting with children, trying to provide access to clean water, shelter, and the basic needs, just like food.
It's just come to my attention that World Central Kitchen is resuming operations in Gaza. This is, of course, after a number of its aid workers were killed by IDF airstrikes, including Zomi Frankham. Wow, the resilience of people in your field just blows me away. And amid a sea of devastation and tragedy that it's hard to look at the moment, you have people like yourself, World Vision, World Central Kitchen, just not giving up.
Can't give up in the face of these things, and I do salute World Central Kitchen for starting again. As Zomi's was a special person, still, our heart goes out to her family still, but in the face of these things, you have to act. We can't sit here and not do something.
And there's still hope, isn't there, Daniel?
There's hope, because these things, even though they become in the news, they're so bright and they're so vivid and they're so appalling, and they become so dominant in our imagination. But the truth is, the world is much better than all of these things. And so we have the ability to respond. There are people like Zomi that are ready to go and actually act. And so we can sort of throw ourselves into these environments and literally make the world better for these people. But I'd hate for people to think that you can define the world by the situation in Sudan or in Gaza, because actually the world's not defined by that. The world is defined by the kinds of people that go into those places, risk their lives and do good, and the families that are so resilient in the face of all of this. Mums and dads looking after their kids every day in situations that most of us would just be stunned by.
Yeah. Well, we needed that note of optimism, especially from you, Daniel. Thank you for your time, as always.
Great. Thank you, Laura. Thank you.